Hello friends, very good afternoon. Welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Today we will discuss very important current affair of 2nd of December 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will see three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and fourth one is pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. It means if you want to cover one particular topic, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing you state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this Crack Current Affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But if you are a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start today's current affair, that is 2nd of December 2021. But first of all, I am requesting you all the students, please like this video, please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the first question in the most important section. Which city ranked world costliest city? So this is the keyword for you, world costliest city, according to Economic Intelligence Unit Worldwide Cost of Living Index 2021. Just you have to remember, this is Cost of Living Index 2021, and according to this index, world's costliest city is Tel Aviv. So answer of this question is B. So remember, Tel Aviv or the Tel Aviv is in Israel, and it has become the most expensive city in the world to live in the year of 2021. And this Tel Aviv climbed from the 5th place. Earlier the rank was 5th in the you can say in the 2020 index, but you can say it is climbed from 5th place to the top in 2021 due to the rising value of the Israeli currency shekel against US dollar, along with increase in the price of the grocery and the transport. And you can also remember Paris and Singapore simultaneously is on the second rank. It means jointly to occupy the second spot, and the prices of goods and services has risen 3.5% in 2021, which is double to 1.9% in 2020. And even you can also remember that Hong Kong had the most expensive petrol prices all over the world, that is almost $2.50 per liter. So this is the most expensive city, that is the Hong Kong, and most expensive petrol prices, $2.50 per liter. So you can see here, Tel Aviv is the world's most expensive city worldwide, Cost of Living Index 2021. And this report is basically published by Economic Intelligence Unit, and Syria's Damascus was ranked as the world cheapest city. So you can also remember the world cheapest city is Damascus, and world costliest city is Tel Aviv. It is in Israel, and Paris and Singapore is on the second spot, and Zurich in the Switzerland on the 4th position, and 5th is the Hong Kong. But you have to just remember first and second. So these you have to remember. And worldwide cost of living index examines the cost of living in 173 cities and measures impactful global events. And the cost of living study is considered twice a year. twice a year. And you can also remember this organization, Economic Intelligence Unit. This was established in 1946 and its headquarters is in London, United Kingdom. Moving to next question. Merriam-Webster named which word as the 2021 word of the year? So you can eliminate these options basically. This non-fungible token is the word of the year of 2021 is basically declared by Collins Dictionary. Remember, Collins Dictionary, it is non-fungible token. And vex is a word which is declared as the word of the year by Oxford Dictionary. So these cannot be the answer. So Oxford Dictionary. And vex, which in turn refers to the vaccine and the vaccination, repeatedly appeared in the news and other written media more than any other word. So that's why Oxford chose vex word as the word of the year 2021. So you can also remember the lockdown. Lockdown was declared in 2020 and it was declared by so many dictionaries. But now we are talking about Merriam-Webster and the name of the word of the year is vaccine. So answer of this question is C. So you can see here the word of the year is chosen by data that states that significant increase in lookup at merriam-webster.com in the past 12 months and the word is vaccine. So lookups for the vaccine increased almost 601% year over year from 2022 and it were up by 1048% from 2019. So if we are comparing with 2020, then it is this word is searched almost by increase of 601%. If we are comparing with 2019, then this word is increased so much like 1000% approximately. And the terms vaccine or the vaccinations are derived from a very important word which means varioli vaccine, basically smallpox of the cow, the term devised by Edward Jenner. So you have to remember this vaccine word is basically derived by very famous, you can say, scientist or virologist scientist, Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner. He coined the word vaccine from the Latin word vacca. From the Latin word vacca, vacca means cow. So remember, Collins Dictionary word of the year is non-fungible token, Oxford word of the year is vex, and Merriam-Webster word of the year 2021 is vaccine. So both are very, very important. Moving to next question. So all the most important questions we covered. Now we are moving to very important question section. You have to like this video, share this video and subscribe this channel and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Who was awarded for the 7th Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for the period of 2017 to 19? And this award basically goes to V. Praveen Rao. Answer of this question is D. And who is this V. Praveen Rao? V. Praveen Rao is currently Vice Chancellor of very famous University of Telangana, and this is known as Professor Jaishankar Telangana State University. Professor Jaishankar Telangana State Agriculture University. And this personality, this V. Praveen Rao, the Vice Chancellor of this university, wins the 7th Dr. M.S. Swaminathan Award for the period of 2017 to 19. So you can see here, he is currently the Vice Chancellor, Telangana State Agriculture University, won Swaminathan Award. Very important. And it is for recognizing his contribution in the field of agriculture research, teaching, extension, and the administration. So it is a biennial national, or you can say it is awarded after every 2 years. That was presented by retired ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research Employees Association, and one organization which is a seed organization. You don't have to remember this. And it carries a cash prize of 2 lakh rupees and a citation. But you have to remember this award is a lifetime achievement award for outstanding contribution to the agriculture, research and development, and for overall food security and sustainability of agriculture. And this award is open to all, irrespective of his or her nationality. And this prestigious award was instituted in the year of 2004 in the honor of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who was known as the father of Indian Green Revolution. And or you can say who was the main architect of the India's Green Revolution, which was basically started in the year of 1966. So just remember, this award goes to V. Praveen Rao, who is currently the Vice Chancellor of Telangana State Agriculture University. Moving to next question. Which bank launched India's first stand-alone metal debit card? Again, very important news for the banking students. And answer of this question is IDFC First Bank. D is the answer. So IDFC First Bank, which is also known as Infrastructure Development Finance Company First Bank, launched India's first stand-alone metal debit card, or you can say black card. You can see this is the black card, and it is named as the first private infinite card in partnership with Visa. It means they launched this card in partnership with Visa, and name of this card is First Private Infinite Card. And it is crafted from hybrid metal with the details printed on silver. So you can see here, this detail is printed in silver, and it is crafted from hybrid metal. That's why it is black in color. And you can also remember there is a program. It is a lifetime free card to cater the customers of the bank's first private program. So this program offers an you can say unrivaled banking and investment experience to the customers, and comes with a range of exceptional investment, banking, lifestyle, and the wellness benefits. So just remember, first stand-alone metal debit card is basically launched by IDFC First Bank. So this bank was basically founded by the merger of the erstwhile IDFC Bank and erstwhile Capital First Bank, and both were merged in the year of 2018, and they become IDFC First Bank. And its currently MD and CEO is V. Vaidyanathan, headquarters is in Mumbai. Moving to next question. Who is robbed as the brand ambassador for 50th year of celebration of Arunachal Pradesh? Again, very, very important question. And the Arunachal Pradesh government has signed Bollywood actor Sanjay Dutt as a brand ambassador, and even you can also see here the picture of Sanjay Dutt here. And Arunachal Pradesh government robs in Bollywood star Sanjay Dutt as a brand ambassador for 50th year of celebration of Arunachal Pradesh. Even along with Sanjay Dutt, award-winning filmmaker and branding expert Rahul Mitra was also become the brand advisor. So who become the brand advisor? Then it is Rahul Mitra. And who become the brand ambassador? Then it is Sanjay Dutt. And Sanjay Dutt launched a media campaign for the month-long celebration. And the month-long celebration will commence at Zero. Zero is the name of a place, from 20th January 2022, where Arunachal Pradesh got its name and union territory status in the 1972. So Arunachal Pradesh firstly became a union territory in 1972. So in 2022, it will complete 50 years. So it is a golden jubilee celebration. And you can also remember, Zero is in Lower Subansiri district. Remember, Subansiri district of Arunachal Pradesh, that covers all the 5 rivers basin of the state, after which the first 5 districts were named. One is, you can remember, Kameng. Kameng is also very famous river. Subansiri, Siang, Lohit, and even Tirap. So these were the 5 first districts which were named after the river's name, and all are the basically main tributaries of the Brahmaputra, which flows from the Arunachal Pradesh. After that goes to Assam, then Bangladesh. So just remember, we are talking about Arunachal Pradesh. So one is brand ambassador, second is brand advisor, and brand advisor is Rahul Mitra. So you can also remember about Arunachal Pradesh here. Arunachal Pradesh governor is B.D. Mishra. And chief minister is Pema Khanduji. Moving to next question. A biography, Naroji, it means I am talking about Dadabhai Naroji, pioneer of Indian nationalism, was written by whom? So again, very important question, and this book was basically written by Dinyar Patel. So answer of this question is C. And you can also see here, this is the picture of Dinyar Patel, and this is the cover page of the book, and this is the picture of Dadabhai Naroji. And name of the book is Naroji, Pioneer of Indian Nationalism, and it is written by Dinyar Patel. And this book won very prestigious award. So you can see here, this book is selected as the winner of 4th Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay New India Foundation Book Prize 2021. Again, very important question. And Dadabhai, also known as the Grand Old Man of India and the unofficial brand ambassador or the ambassador of India. This book is basically marked the life events and the legacy of Dadabhai Naroji. And it also contains historical backgrounds of India's national movement during the 19th century. And Dadabhai Naroji played very beautiful role to shape the Indian freedom struggle. And he was the first Asian to become a British member parliament. When he was elected to the House of Commons in 1892. And he was 3 times president of Indian National Congress. First in 1886, when there was second session of the Indian National Congress. Second in 1893. And third was in 1906. This was very famous because Congress first time demanded Swaraj. But Swaraj didn't mean here like independence. Swaraj means self-government. So this is the meaning of Swaraj in 1906. And even he formed very famous organization. One is London India Society. in 1865, and it is to put forth views in Indian political, social and literary subjects. And the most important organization is East India Association. It was formed in 1867 by Dadabhai Naoroji with the purpose of putting Indian viewpoints across to the British public. So very important personality all over world, especially for the Indian freedom struggle. So you have to remember this book is written by Dinyar Patel. So very important, and this book won a very famous award, that is Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay New India Foundation Book Prize 2021. So now we are moving to next question, but you can also remember the two very important books which were written by Dadabhai Naoroji. One is Poverty of India. Second most famous book, Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. Why this book is most important? Because a very famous theory which is known as drain wealth theory, which was published under this book, that is Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. So again, this is very important. And you can also remember this Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay New India Foundation Book Prize. So this prize is named after institution builder Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay, who had contributed significantly to the freedom struggle, women movement and other fields. And this prize is given for a high quality non-fiction literature on the modern and contemporary India, and carries a cash award of rupees 15 lakh and a citation. And this award was started in the year of 2018. So now we are moving to next question. The SALT system signed a memorandum of understanding with which state to set up Center of Advanced Manufacturing? Again, this question is related to state government. That's why this is very important. And the SALT system is a company of France, and they will set up a Center of Advanced Manufacturing in the state. And that's why they signed a memorandum of understanding with the Tamil Nadu government. So answer of this question is D. Basically, they signed this agreement with one organization of Tamil Nadu, which is known as TIDCO. It means Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation. So you can see here the SALT system signs MOU with the TIDCO. It means Tamil Nadu Center for Advanced Manufacturing, or you can say Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation. And it is a first of its kind center of excellence in India, under which Tamil Nadu Center for Advanced Manufacturing will work as a center of excellence in India and will provide a dedicated information technology engineering ecosystem to support the micro, small and medium enterprises sector and students across the Tamil Nadu. Even the SALT system will also set up 3D Experience Innovation Center. Why this is important? Because the SALT system 3D Experience Lab will develop innovative technology, products and the new business models. So again, this is very important, and this center of excellence, this center of advanced manufacturing is very important because it will facilitate or provide mentorship and training to the students with training courses in aerospace, with defense, automotive, electric vehicles related industries which are basically currently required. So remember, this is Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is M.K. Stalin and Governor is R.N. Ravi, who was earlier the Governor of Nagaland. So just remember, this is Tamil Nadu. Moving to next question. 9th International Tourism Mart for the Northeastern region held at which place? So again, this is very important question and unique question, that this is 9th International Tourism Mart for the Northeastern region held at which place? So it means it is for the development of the Northeastern area. First of all, you have to remember total Northeastern states are 8, in which you can remember like M cube, A square and TS. So this is acronym. You have to just remember this is Meghalaya, Mizoram and Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. N stands for Nagaland, T stands for Tripura, S stands for Sikkim. So by default, this will hosted by one of the capital city of one of the northeastern state, and answer of this question is Kohima. So A is the answer. So you can see here, it is to highlight the tourism potential of the region in the domestic and the international market, and it is in line with the Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat. The delegation also includes students from across India. And you can also remember one very important thing, that this international tourism mart are organized in the northeastern states, like out of 8 northeastern states, out of 8 northeastern state, 1 northeastern state will host this on the rotation basis, and Nagaland is hosting first time. So this is again very important, especially for the Nagaland students. And the International Tourism Mart is the biggest travel and the tour networking event in the northeastern region of India. And the government of India has sanctioned funds under the you can say Savdesh Darshan scheme already launched, and Prashad scheme to develop the northeastern infrastructure. And even under this Savdesh Darshan scheme, 16 projects have been approved in the northeastern region. but you have to remember this is hosted by Kohima. And governor is Jagdish Mukhi, additional charge because the permanent governor of Nagaland was R.N. Ravi, who is currently the governor of Tamil Nadu. That's why additional charge given to Jagdish Mukhi. And chief minister is Neiphiu Rio. You can also remember. And very important festival which is hosted, also celebrated by Nagaland, that is Hornbill Festival. You have to remember Hornbill Festival is celebrated in Nagaland. Even one important festival is Tuluni. Tuluni festival is also celebrated by Nagaland people. Moving to next question. What is the theme of World's AIDS Day 2021? Again, very important. World AIDS Day, or you can say Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome Day, is annually observed across the globe on 1st of December, and it is to create awareness about the HIV virus, or a major public health issue that affects billions of people across the globe. And 2021 theme is End Inequalities and AIDS. So you can see here, World AIDS Day observed on 1st of December 2021. Theme is End Inequalities and AIDS. And remember, HIV is a virus that attacks the body's immune system, especially the white blood cells called CD4 cells. CD4 cells. And the red ribbon, you can see here the red ribbon. Red ribbon is the universal symbol of awareness and support for the people living with HIV. Moving to next question. Which bank has introduced an industry first digital and paperless trade financing solution? And this bank is basically DBS Bank. So answer of this question is B. So the bank digitally validates the electronic e-way bill, or you can say e-way bill or electronic way bill, which is the proof of movement of goods for transparency of trade transactions. And this e-way bill can be assessed at online platform. So this is paperless trade financing solution, and customer can share details of their transaction through Ideal platform. Ideal platform is DBS Bank digital banking platform that enables companies to initiate, monitor and secure business transaction. And the customer's data is validated against the government enabled e-way bills portal through Goods and Services Network, or you can say GSTN network, after receiving a one-time authentication from the customer. It means all the e-way bills can be generated through DBS Bank platform, which is known as Ideal, and it can be uploaded to the government platform. And this is the first digital and paperless trade financing solution which is provided by this bank. This is known as DBS Bank. So DBS is a leading financial services group in the Asia with a presence in the 18 markets, and its headquarters is in Singapore. It is also known as Developmental Bank of Singapore, and its CEO and managing director is Piyush Gupta. Piyush Gupta. Moving to next question. So GUVI, GUVI has signed whom as its brand ambassador? First of all, you have to remember about this company. So GUVI is India's first vernacular edu-technological startup to impart technology and programming skills to individuals in their preferred native language like Tamil, Telugu, Hindi and many other Indian languages. And you have to remember this GUVI platform is started by, basically this is a startup of Indian Institute of Madras or IIT Madras. So remember, it is a first vernacular edu-technological startup to impart technological and programming skills to individual in their preferred or the vernacular language. And who become the brand ambassador of this organization? This is Samriti Mandhana, very famous woman cricketer, Samriti Mandhana. And she will create awareness about the technological education among everyone, especially among women. And as a brand ambassador of GUVI, Samriti Mandhana will face of GUVI and feature across the online campaigns of the GUVI aim to strengthen the importance of scope of technological education and information technological skills, especially in the vernacular language, so that students can easily understand everything about the technology. Moving to next question, you can also see here the picture of Samriti Mandhana. Next, Walmart and Flipkart signed MOU with which state government to train and support micro, small and medium enterprises? So there are two organizations, one is Walmart, second is the subsidiary of Walmart, that is Flipkart, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises of the state of Madhya Pradesh. So answer of this question is A. And this is the government of Madhya Pradesh, and it is to create an ecosystem of capacity building for the MSMEs in the Madhya Pradesh. So under this MOU, Walmart, Flipkart and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Department of Madhya Pradesh will assist all the MSMEs to digitize their business and enable them to sell their products through online retail. It means all the MSMEs can use the Walmart and the Flipkart platform, and they can sell their products through online platform, and they can easily easily increase their income and increasingly or enhance their livelihood. And under this program, Walmart and Flipkart have partnered with various states including Haryana and Tamil Nadu. Now it is Madhya Pradesh. So just remember, we are talking about Madhya Pradesh. Chief Minister is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and you can also remember the governor is Chhaganbhai Mangubai Patel. And very important national parks are there, like Panna Biosphere Reserve is there, Kanha Tiger Reserve is there, Satpura Tiger Reserve is there, Shivpuri National Park is there, and so many there, because maximum forest area lies with Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. Which state won the gold medal at India's International Trade Fair 2021? Again, very important question. Why this question is so much important? Because this trade fair is basically inaugurated by our Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal ji. That's why this question is very, very important. And the state who won the gold medal is Bihar. Answer of this question is B. You can see here, Union Minister Piyush Goyal ji inaugurated 40th India International Trade Fair. You have to remember the number here. And Bihar Pavilion once again won the gold medal by showcasing the state art and especially the culture richness through handicrafts like you can say Madhubani paintings, very famous Madhubani paintings. You can say Manjusha arts, terracotta seals and the handlooms and other indigenous products of the state at India's International Trade Fair of 2021. And this was launched at Pragrati Maidan in Delhi. You can also remember. And the state who is partner state, Bihar is the partner state, so you can also remember. And the focus state is Uttar Pradesh and the Jharkhand. Again, this question can be asked, again very, very important. And the theme is Atmanirbhar Bharat or the self-reliant Bharat. And you can also remember this is the 6th gold medal for the Bihar Pavilion in the last 7 years for its outstanding implementation at the India International Trade Fair. And this event was organized by India Trade Promotion Organization with Atmanirbhar Bharat as the theme, and to further promote the idea of vocal for local. Vocal for local. So 2 or 3 things are very important. This is inaugurated by Piyush Goyal ji, and Bihar Pavilion won the gold medal for showcasing their state art and the culture. And Bihar is the partner state and focus states are 2. One is Uttar Pradesh, second is Jharkhand. Moving to next question. It is again from picture, that is veteran Telugu lyricist Siri Venela, or you can say Sitarama Shastri ji passed away. So very important question, because Sitaram Shastri ji belongs to Andhra Pradesh because he was born in Andhra Pradesh. So he launched his first song in the film Janani, Janani Janambhumi, Janani Janambhumi. And what is the meaning of this Shri Novella? So you can see here, in 1986, the movie Siri Venela, directed by K. Vishwanath, made him famous and also gave him a second name as Siri Venela Sitaramana Shastri. So Siri Novella means moonlight, moonlight. And he got the first Nandi Award for the best lyricist for the Siri Venela, presented by the Andhra Pradesh state government. So just remember, very important Telugu lyricist. This can be asked by examiner. And you can also remember that he also won the Filmfare Award for best lyricist in the Telugu. He also won the Padam Shri Award in 2019. And he won Nandi Award several times. Very important question. Just remember the name. Name is Siri Venela, Telugu lyricist, or you can say Sitarama Shastri. Moving to next section. It is our important question section, but you have to like this video, share this video and subscribe this channel, and please join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Government constitutes panel to revisit criteria for determining economically weaker section. So you can see here, the committee will now review the 8 lakh family annual income ceiling of economically weaker section to apply for 10% reserved seat in the central education institution and the governmental organizations or the government jobs. So again, this question is very, very important. Why it is very important? Because we are talking about economically weaker section. And this is a 3-member committee. And one person is Ajay Bhushan Pandey. You can just remember this name, Ajay Bhushan Pandey. Why? Because he was basically the former finance secretary. And Professor V.K. Malhotra, who was member secretary under the Indian Council of Social Science Research, and Sanjeev Sanyal, principal economic advisor to the Indian government. But you have to just remember this Ajay Bhushan Pandey. And the committee will examine various approaches followed in India so far for identifying EWS and the recommended criteria. So I think all the students know that 10% reservation of EWS quota was introduced under the 103rd amendment of the constitution, which was implemented in the year of 2019. And the 10% EWS reservation is given only for the general category, only for the general category. Candidates apart from other category reservation benefits are like OBC is given 27%, scheduled caste is given like 15%, and scheduled tribes given like 7.5%. So this is the reservation which is currently going on. And this committee is constituted by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Union Minister is Virendra Kumar. Constituency is Tikamgarh. Tikamgarh is in Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. So it is our one-liner important point. Here is the first point. 57th Border Security Raising Day, 1st of December 2021. Why it is observed on 1st of September, 1st of December? So because BSF was established on that day in 1965. That's why this day is observed as the Border Security Force Raising Day. So 1st December 2021 marks the observance of 57th BSF Raising Day. So it was established in the year of 1965, and BSF is a paramilitary force charged with guiding India's land border during peacetime and preventing transitional crime. And you can also remember Border Security Force Director General is Pankaj Kumar Singh. Pankaj Kumar Singh. Next, global trade report of United Nation Conference on Trade and Development, and according to this report, global trade expected to rise by 23% to $28 trillion in 2021. If we are comparing with 2020, then global trade can be rise by 23%, and it can be up to $28 trillion in 2021. And India trade growth also accelerated in the Q3 of 2021, both in goods as well as services, while China remained relatively constant. And you can also remember United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. It was established in 1964, not 1964. Its headquarters is in Geneva. Next, government approves continuation of scheme for investment promotion for 5 years. So it means it will now continue till 2025-26 because it is for the 5 years, and it is very important financial outlay, like 970 crores will be invested. And this scheme is a centrally sponsored scheme which was launched under 2008 to promote foreign direct investment in India, FDI in India. And the scheme comprises a number of components and activities that enhances integrational even as well as international cooperation for promoting investment through FDI and capacity building in India. So it is launched by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Currently is Piyush Goyal ji. Piyush Goyal ji constituency is Maharashtra, Rajya Sabha member. RBI appointed 3-member advisory committee to assist Reliance Capital Limited Administrator Nageshwar Rao. Why? Yesterday we discussed this question because recently Reserve Bank of India superseded the board of directors of Reliance Capital Limited, a non-banking financial company, by appointing Nageshwar Rao as the administrator of the company. So now to assist the administrator, RBI appointed a 3-member advisory committee by exercising its power conferred under the RBI Act of 1934, and the committee will assist the administrator in discharge of his duties. Next, India's GDP grows at 8.4% in Q2 of the financial year 22 as minus 7.4% in the financial year 21 according to the National Statistical Office. So if we are comparing with 2021 in Q2, the growth was minus 7.4%. It means we were on the contraction side. But now if we are comparing with 2020, now growth is 8.4%. So it is under the Ministry of Statistics Program and Implementation, Minister of State for Independent Charges, Rao Inderjit Singh ji. Next, Sanjeev Kaushal appointed as a new secretary of Haryana. Just remember earlier this news is only for the Haryana government students, and Sanjeev Kaushal appointed as a new secretary, and he becomes the 35th chief secretary of the Haryana since it became a separate state in 1966, and he will retire in 2024. But earlier this position was with Vijay Vardhan, who retired in 2021 now. Remember. Moving to question of the day, what was the question of 1st of December? In which type of banking all the operations are performed from a single branch? So you have to remember the answer of this question is very simple because we discussed it, and answer of this question is unit banking, because unit banking is system of banking which originated in the United States of America. It is a limited way of banking where banks operate only from a single branch or a few branches in the same area, taking care of the local community. And in comparison to the branch banking, the size of the unit banking is very small. Due to the small size and due to unit structure, the decision making of the unit bank is very fast because you don't have to go to the hierarchies, you have to take the decision your own. And the management in the unit banks enjoy more autonomy and the more discretionary powers. However, due to single units, the risk is not distributed or diversified. So this is only the negative point. Otherwise, this is known as the unit banking. Now we are moving to the question of the day. When a bank invests money mostly in the government bond and the security, that is known as. So you have to tell me answer again. Very important answer, and especially for the banking students. So guys, like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform. And this is Affairs Cloud. Promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Definitely. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.